Yeah, yeah. All right, everybody put your hands out in front of you. Do some wrist exercises. Good. Now, turn the person to your right. Turn the person to your right. Put your hands up your shoulders. Start rubbing. Give a little love. Give a little love. Let me do this now. This is the whole talk. This is the whole time right here on this side. Now go the other way. Turn to your far left. There you go. Give some love. Give some love. Come on, Mama Maria. Come on, Carrie. Give it up the love. All right, everybody have a seat. Man, am I excited. Good job, good job, good job. All right, all right. How are we doing today? Good? Yeah? Come on now, you need a little better than that. How are we doing today? How'd you like that world premiere movie? How'd you like that? I don't want to say anything else to mess it up, you know what I'm saying? For those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, I'm Dr. Joseph Arvay. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm a maximized living doctor, maximized living chiropractor in the Northland community for the last 21 years. And so today we're going to talk about how to get healthy, how to lose maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds, how to look 10, 15, 20 years younger, and how to kill cancer. How's that sound? Very good, very good, very good. So the thing is today is going to be an amazing day for you. It's all about you. I want to make sure you leave here with a plan. So if you look in your pack or your special folder, you have everything you need right there to start changing your life. And what I want you to pull out right now is a couple different tools. What you're going to need for this first half of the show is your Don't Get It plan. So make sure you have that right there in front of you, okay? All right. So let's get started. Okay, now, today is going to be an amazing day. And if you really want to be serious and you really want to get your family healthy and get your parents healthy and get your children healthy and get your spouse healthy, get yourselves healthy, then this is the book for you to read. This is the book for you to get. All book proceeds today will go to our cancer killers. We have especially Josh, who you'll meet in a little bit, on his journey to kill cancer. And he's doing it successfully, but it does take money. So all the books we sell today, that $25 goes right to his cancer killing fund, okay? And so make sure we don't have any books left before you go, okay? You can get great Christmas gifts, great Bronco gifts, great CU buff gifts, or just any kind of gift, okay? Hanukkah's coming up too, I guess. All right, so the next slide here. Good. Now, if you have a blue card in your hand, which I hope everybody does, and it has a number 1 on it, men, raise your hand. Raise it up. If you have a 1, raise it up. If it's blue and you're a man and your card says 1, raise it up and hold it up and keep it up. Guess what? You have cancer in America right now. Keep your card up, men. Women, if you have a number 1 on your pink card, please hold it up. Look around the room. They all just got diagnosed with cancer because they live in America. Okay? Put your hands down. So the reason why I do that is because we sit here and we say, how is it? It's not going to be me. It's not going to be. I'm not going to get cancer. And I say, why? Well, I'm just not. And I go, okay. But the numbers say right now that 1 person dies every minute in America due to cancer. The numbers say that 1 out of 2 men will be diagnosed at some time in their lifetime with cancer. Women, 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer during their lifetime in America. That right now, cancer is the number 1 cause of death amongst children over age 1. And they say, as you look at the bottom of the slide here, global cancer cases are expected to rise by 75% by 2030. So how is it not going to be you unless you're living and doing something different than everybody else is doing? And if it's not you, then look to your right, look to your left. It's probably going to be them, just by the pure numbers. Or as you go home, look at your children. Look at your husband, look at your wife. If it's not going to be you, then by the statistics and numbers alone, it's going to be them. Dr. Majors, one of my best friends, never thought he was going to get cancer. We never thought he would be the last guy to get cancer. He looked fit, he looked strong, he looked healthy, right? He didn't think his headaches that he was having off and on was 4 brain tumors growing in his head. right? My wife, I never thought we'd have to deal with cancer in my family. I was her protector. I was her doctor. I was the best of the best. And yet she was growing cancer in her body. Same thing with Josh. Not supposed to happen. Never thought. The worst thought you can have right now is it won't be me. I'm here just for the person who dragged me here screaming and kicking. Okay? But the thing is, how is it not going to be? We have to do something different. So, these are the MRIs of Dr. Majors, not Dr. Majors, say that fast 3 times, okay? Dr. Majors' head, right? And when you look right here, there's a tumor, right? That's normal. This is a normal MRI of the brain. And this is his. And here's other tumors on his brainstem, tumors behind his eyes. And the silly thing is, here's a man in his 30s. How did those get there? How did that tumor get in your body? How did that get there? That's the whole point I want you to understand about cancer. It's not that you have cancer. You wake up one day, you go to a doctor, and had you not had that MRI, that cancer wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Men, you don't like going to the doctor. Why? Because I'm fine until you find something wrong, right? It wasn't like cancer jumps on you that night. It grows. You're going to learn a lot about how it grows in your body. So how did that get there? That's what I'm going to show you and teach you. And how do we get that to go away? That's what I'm going to show you and teach you. Today's going to be probably the most powerful, life-changing experience you've ever had, because we're going to take the fear away from cancer. You can't fight something you don't know anything about, right? Are you guys with me? Okay. So the question is, how did those get there? That's what I want you to understand. And how are they going to go away? And how do I know they've gone away? And how can we live? What is cancer, first of all? Cancer is nothing more than a symptom. Thank God you have cancer. Oh, what did I just say? I'll explain why in a minute. Cancer is normal. Cancer is there for a reason. Cancer is your body's survival mechanism, no different than an oil light is your car's survival mechanism to tell you if you don't do something soon, we're going to crash and burn. When you look at the research about what cancer is, all cancer is a symptom where cells that are supposed to die no longer die, and now they're adapting to a different environment. Okay? They're adapting to a different environment. So let me show you what that's like. Everybody stand up for me, please. We're going to do a lot of this, so get ready, okay? Now, everybody, we're going to, for the next 20 seconds, we're going to punch out cancer, okay? So picture cancer right in front of you, and for 20 seconds, we're going to get punching, okay? Your mark, get set, go. Punch, 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 punch. Hey, everybody, punch, 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 punch. Come on, punch it out. The faster you punch, hey, he's punching really hard. He's punching really hard. Wayne, you're punching really hard here. There's a t-shirt for Wayne. Here you go. All right, there you go. Punch, punch, punch. All right, time. Here's my helper. Okay, right now, who's breathing hard? Raise your hand. You're not breathing hard? All right, let's do it again. Another 20 seconds. Okay, you ready? Set, go. Go, 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 go. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Follow me. Come on, get punching. Get punching. Get punching. We're going. We're going. Time. Okay. Here's our assistant. Okay. Now, when you're ready, go ahead and sit down. Now, if I was your doctor, which I am for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and if I was to take your heart rate, would it be high? Or normal for what I just had you do? If I check your blood pressure, would it be high? Or normal through what I just had you do, right? So think of cancer as normal for how you are living your life right now. And I'm going to talk about some analogies here, but cancer is a defense mechanism. It's a warning mechanism. I'm going to show you how that goes, but understand that, wrong slide, it's when a group of cells do not die. Okay? Why don't they die? I'll go over that in a second. But right now, your heart's beating, your blood's pumping, your breath is in and out, okay? Some of you are like, I'm going to die right now. But your body's adapting to the stress response that you just put it through. Does that make sense, Jim? Right now, your breathing and your blood pressure and your heart rate in a normal situation would be off the charts. But for what you're just doing or how I just had you live, it's completely normal. It's adapting, it's changing. If it's not, right, let's say you only had 5 breaths and the 6th breath, you drop dead. Your body has to adapt so that you don't drop dead. Does that make sense? So, your immune system. Don't let anybody ever tell you you are cancer-free. You're not. At any given time, you can have 100 to 10,000 cancer cells inside your body just fine. Okay? So you're never cancer-free. I have cancer. You have cancer. We all have cancer, right? I'm a pepper. You're a pepper. We're a pepper too. Okay? So the thing is, though, you have an immune system. Everybody say immune system. Immune system. And say, my immune system is strong. My immune system is strong. Your job is to make sure I don't talk so fast that you can't understand what I'm saying. You feel my passion, but you can't understand a word I'm saying, right? Okay, so just slow down, Dr. Joe. So your immune system is what keeps the cancer cells at bay. You're going to learn today how to boost your immune system like nobody's business. You're going to learn how to be so healthy and strong that your immune system is titanium strong. But the thing is that you have cancer cells in your body. Your immune system's job is to destroy them and not allow them to live. Not allow them to take over an organ. Again, nobody dies of cancer. But if that tumor begins to grow, and it begins to crowd on a vital organ or a vital artery or something you need to be alive, that actually causes the death process. Does that make sense? Okay? So I really want to help in this first beginning, the next 6 hours, help take away the fear. I'm just kidding. The fear, I gotta be out of here by 6. No, of what's going on. And again, it weakens. So as a strong immune system happens, it weakens. And as your immune system weakens, then cancer can establish itself. So how did Dr. Majors, come on, was it really that bad? How did your wife, Dr. Arvay, come on, I mean, really, where's the blood test to prove it? How is Josh destroying cancer? And this slide explains it all. It explains it all, right? So a healthy cell, to be healthy, to be normal, to not turn into a cancer cell, requires 4 things. The first one, it needs oxygen for fuel. What I just had you do drive oxygen into your body. You know why your heart never gets cancer? It's because it's full of oxygen. Okay? It's full of oxygen. So you need oxygen for fuel. Okay? Number 2, it doesn't use sugar for fuel. So if you don't have your Ben and Jerry's, if you don't have your Little Debbie's, you're not going to die, I promise you. You might think you're going to die, but you're not going to die, okay? But the point is that a healthy cell doesn't need sugar to survive. Number 3 is that a healthy cell lives in a slightly alkaline environment. Now we'll go over what that's all about, but it has to be slightly alkaline, okay? And then the last thing is that, number 4 is that a healthy cell needs a good, strong nerve supply. So as long as your cells are receiving those 4 things, then they're going to be just fine, right? Think of it this way. As long as you keep the level of the oil in your car at where it should be, does that oil light ever have to come on? No. Why? Because that engine requires a certain amount of oil in it, and as long as you take care of that and focus on that, then the warning light never has to come on, right? And we're going to try to break that down so you understand that completely. So, what does it mean when your oil light comes on in your car? You're low on oil, right? Okay? What's the best solution to your oil light problem? Put oil in. You're like, duh. I paid how much for this today? But wait. You take better care of your cars than you do your bodies, okay? Is it possible to never have your oil light come on? Is there anybody here who's driven a car, I don't know how you say it, and they've never had the oil light come on? Even there, okay, Wayne, there's even some women here that have done that, okay? I'm just making sure you guys are awake, all right? Vicky's going to throw something at me in a minute, okay? So, isn't your car programmed to work that way, right? I mean, why does the oil light come on when the oil gets low? That's how they made the car. Well, why does the oil light go off when I put oil back in the engine? That's how they programmed the car. We don't freak out about that, right? We don't freak out about that. But you may not agree with everything I had to say today. Okay? You may not agree. You may only like one thing. You may not like anything. I don't know. That's okay. But the point is that, what if I gave you a plan so that literally, metaphorically, your cancer light never had to come on? Would that be okay? That's all we're doing today. And what if you've been diagnosed with cancer, or someone in your family's been diagnosed with cancer, and you want to learn how to get that oil light off? Because isn't it frustrating if you see an oil light come on your car and you don't know what it means? You don't know what to do. Oh, what a little pretty light I have on there. You know what I'm saying? Wow, how many more can I get to come on? This is really nice, right? And then what if you had an oil light and they cut it out, and now 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, 6 months later, oh crap, it's back on. Or another one's on, right? And they want to cut it out again. Well, they told me I was free of cancer when they cut it out, and I'd be fine. Just come in and get radiated or get checked or do something, right? Just keep doing what you've been doing, and we'll keep checking, right? So that's so what are my action steps today to keep my oil light off? Does that make sense? Sure. I'm going to throw a couple different analogies at you, but really the oil light is the one that I want you to understand. Now, you may think, sorry, well, he has the cancer or she has the cancer. I'm just fine, right? Well, maybe you have these if you have cancer right now, God bless you, we're going to help you. But maybe you had a few oil lights coming on before, you never knew. Dr. Majors had headaches. He never knew he had 4 brain tumors growing in his brain. Do you think he'd want to know that? He'd have done a little more different action steps. But here's the thing. These are all other oil lights that you have in your body. So if you have high triglycerides, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, low blood sugar, high insulin, leptin, toxicity, ADD or ADHD, if you have autism spectrum disorders, if you're chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, heart disease, digestive problems, obesity, you can't lose weight, and you have gluten issues, guess what? Those are other warning lights that will also respond to the don't get it plan. Isn't that good news? Give yourself a hand. Because the principle's the same for everyone. This could easily be called the diabetes killer course. This could easily be called the cancer killer course. This could be called the obesity killer course or the dementia, Alzheimer's killer course. Because when I put enough oil back in that engine, the light goes off, right? When you put health back in your body, all lights go off. Isn't that cool? That's good news for you. That's how you were made. So, but the problem is, what do we do in this country when the oil light or the cancer shows up? What are our options? Talk to me here. Radiation. What else? Chemotherapy. Surgery. Go to Dr. Joe. Yes. Hey. Oh no, you want a pink one, don't you? Here you go. Go to Dr. Joe. I like that. Now, but do you go to Dr. Joe to treat your cancer? No. You go to Dr. Joe to put oil in the engine. Is that too silly, or does that make sense? I even got permission from my wife saying, because it makes perfectly sense in my, in my brain. Put oil in the engine. The oil is not the problem. But unfortunately, how much money do we make in this country focusing only on the oil light? To cut, poison, and burn the oil light. It's the oil light. We're going to raise money. Oh, no. The old way of killing oil lights and destroying oil lights wasn't working. Now we're going to have a new way, right? So if you have somebody who has all the money and all the smarts in the world, you think they'd be able to overcome cancer, right? Steve Jobs couldn't overcome cancer, right? Farrah Fawcett, how beautiful you are, how famous you are, by focusing only on the oil light and not having the right tools to focus on health and shutting the oil light off. By putting oil in the engine, she couldn't make it. Neither could Patrick Swayze, no matter how strong, how well you can dance. And again, I love these people. It breaks my heart because if somehow they could have came to Dr. Joe, would they maybe lived a better life? Would they maybe possibly had a better chance? Yes, that's all I'm saying. When you apply maximized living to your life, you're going to start living better, feeling better, and your body's going to start working better, and eventually oil lights are going to shut off, and now you know what to keep doing to keep the oil lights off. Does that make sense? Because all it takes is one time for my child, or one of my children, or your children, to drive the car with the oil light on, and then have the engine. Now the thing is, if you didn't have an oil light, and as soon as that oil went low, the engine just freezed up, isn't that oil light a good thing? Because it warns you. Now, can you keep driving the car with the oil light on? For how long, though? Not long. So cancer, you can't live to age 80, 90, strong health with cancer, right? But it's a survival mechanism. It's there for a reason to buy you some time, but you can't take forever to get better. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and it doesn't matter how much money, how pretty, how famous, if you only focus on the oil light at any cost, because we're going to kill that cancer cell. We're going to radiate, we're going to burn, we're going to cut, right? So what's the results? Well, here's your 5 options. Chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, medication. Again, the reason why you have cancer, is it because you're deficient in chemotherapy? Or radiation? Or you haven't taken enough medication? Or God gave you a bad organ? That's not the reason why. And again, please, I'm not trying to be difficult or obnoxious. That just comes natural. I really want to help you understand that maybe you weren't told the whole truth. And again, thank God for medicine. Thank God they were there. If you have a large tumor that is pinching off life to you, and you need to have something done to reduce the tumor load, thank God, yes. But don't think that's just it. That's it. That you have more work to do, okay? You're not, once they took the tumor out, you're not healed. Once they cut or poison, you're not healed. And lots of times you have to deal now with all the side effects that comes along with that, right? Okay? But unfortunately, the way the standards are set up, it's shrink the tumor, kill the tumor, that's all that matters. All right? And the thing is that chemotherapy is mustard gas. And they found that it attacks fast-growing cells. So they said, okay, let's use chemotherapy then to kill fast-growing cancer cells. The problem is that every cancer cell, every tumor is different. Many of them don't respond to chemotherapy, although they keep giving it to you. If I breathe in chemotherapy, or if I spill it on my skin, or if I spill it, it's a biohazard. But somehow when I inject it into my bloodstream, it's perfectly safe. Does that make sense? It is poison. It is poison. I don't make the rules. I'm just reporting you what the science is. Okay? Surgery. Again, cutting the oil light out. Does that do anything for the longevity of the engine? It doesn't. It temporarily takes away the warning sign that was there for a reason, asking for help. Then radiation. Again, it weakens the immune system. Well, how do you keep the oil light off? By having a strong immune system, right? So now your immune system's already weak. How do I know? You have cancer cells. You have cancer showing up on medical tests. Because if you wait until you feel like you have cancer, guess what? It's too late. If you flunk your PSA or your mammogram, guess what? It's already there. So all those medical tests didn't do anything to prevent you from getting it. At best, maybe early detection, but then once you're early detected, then they only have really 5 things they want to do for you to get you better. And again, it's not doctors and nurses' fault. It's a broke system. It's a broke system, and it's not working. And so that's Dr. Majors after his surgery. The cancer didn't put him in that wheelchair. The surgery did. If you look at the website, Stand Up to Cancer, they're going to say, we did something different because the treatments are almost as if not as bad as the disease itself. And I would say, amen, you're realizing that. So, and again, this slide, I just found this morning, I threw it in there. Only 20% of oncology doctors talk to their patients about lifestyle. Well, the thing is how did that cancer get there to begin with? Was it because God's mad at you? Because you have bad genes? No. You unknowingly lived yourself into it. And you say it's not going to happen to me. Well, let me ask you, how are you doing today? Are you busy? Are you stressed out? How's your eating plan? How's your exercise plan? How's your spine? How's your relationships? How's your toxin level? If you're like, I don't know, what's that matter? Then guess what? The problem is that if you want to, the best thing to do about today is begin with the end in mind. What do you want your health, your life to look like in your 60s, in your 70s, in your 80s, in your 90s? What do you want it to look like? Again, God doesn't make junk. God made our bodies be strong and healthy for 120 years. So you're not old at 60, 70, or 80, or at 50. You're not old. But the thing is, today, you get a chance to begin to choose what that will look like based on the decisions you make today. What is happening today is what will be tomorrow. So change today, and you'll have a better tomorrow. Does that make sense? That's the hope I want you to have. It's not too late for you. The fact that you're here. They said it was too late for Dr. Majors. They give him time to live, right? That's why they kind of let him go home. Because they're like, we touched it. We can't do anything about it. And he said, look, if I cut my arm, it heals. And the same power in my brain that heals that cut, the same power that heals that cancer, I just got to find the interference. I got to get to the cause. My body knows what to do. All I got to do is put oil in that engine. I got to find the right oil for that engine. and my engine, my body will know exactly what to do. Does that make sense? Okay. So, the oil light is only a symptom. So how do you live so the oil light never comes on? How do you live to get the oil light to go off and not harm you in the process? I don't want you to live with cancer. I want the cancer tumor gone too. But I don't want you to have to die or get sick or disease in the process. You know what I'm saying? How do you protect your children and family? Raise your hand if you'd like to protect your family and your children from having to go through this. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I want to make sure I say it now. I don't want to next year have to play your video of how you beat cancer. Can I get an amen? Amen. I don't want any of you to have a cancer story. That's why you're here. That's why we have a Don't Get It plan. We have enough cancer stories, okay? We have enough YouTube stuff, boo-hoo, make you cry, all kinds of stuff. We don't want any more, especially yours. Is that okay? All right. How do we save our city? Is it possible to teach everyone in our city how to check their oil on a regular basis? Go to the city garage and get the oil filled back up if they need it, so that we could go a whole year with no oil lights coming out of any of our vehicles. Would that be possible? Does that sound crazy or far-fetched or loony? No. Does it take some planning? Maybe. Guess what? Being a cancer killer in our whole city is possible too. We can literally have zero cancer in this city. You know why? Are our bodies designed? Do they have to get cancer if everything's healthy? No, they don't. Does the oil light have to come on if you take care of your car? It doesn't. Literally, our vision, the reason why I'm doing this today, so that our city can be cancer-free. Think about that for a second. What would that do to our economy? What would that do to our schools? What would that do to our churches? What would that do to our relationships? Hurt people hurt people. And I want healthy people to make this city, make this nation a great nation. Can I get another amen? Amen. I know it's not Sunday, but I just like hearing that. Okay? So what is the answer? What is the answer? What are we going to use to keep the oil light off, keep the cancer away? There's 5 essentials. Everybody say 5. There's 5 things, okay? 5 things that we're going to learn how to sow into your life. All right? The first one is how you think. Does that matter? It sure does. It sure does. Nerve supply. Does that matter? It sure does. Okay, nutrients, lean oxygen, minimizing toxicity. Those 5 things are what you need to know. And not just know, but take what? Action. Action. Action, action, action is what's going to take the oil light off. Action is what is going to make you a cancer killer. Not just filling up your notes full of good words. It's taking action, and I'm going to help you take action. Okay? Check page 98. If you look in your cancer killer book, don't do it right now. Well, if you want to look, go ahead and look. There's a page. And so when someone comes to me, I'm like, all right, what do I do? Well, you eat better. Well, you exercise. You get adjusted. And you don't think bad thoughts anymore. And you reduce toxins. And I'm like, all right, good luck. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I just told you what to do, right? Yeah. Now, how many in this room could actually take it and then go figure it out on their own? See, isn't that what the doctor tells you? Here, you need to lose weight. Here. If a doctor tells you to lose weight, you simply say, well, you go first. Show me how it's done, right? So, everybody pull out their Don't Get It plan sheet and shake it at me. Make sure you got it. Before you leave here today, our goal is that this thing's completely filled out. Okay? Completely filled out. Because it's not so much what to do, it's when you're going to do it on a daily basis, right? You get healthy one day at a time. Look to your partner and say, one day at a time. Look to the other person and say, don't be in a hurry. One day at a time. All right, so this is your page 98. We'll refer to this all throughout the evening, so make sure that you keep close tabs on it, all right? And you want to take notes on the back. Okay, there you go. So Max Mind, the first step in turning off your oil light, the first step in defeating cancer or any disease in your body is making sure that you're not holding on to anything up here in your thinker. Okay? Put the baseball bat down. Don't quit beating yourself up. We're going to talk about how to forgive yourself and others. Confront your problems. Take care of you. If you don't take care of you, who will? Nobody else. Become a possibility thinker. So I want to show you a video of a person that's kind of special to me. And I love her to death. But let me show you what thinking can do to your health.
Hi, my name's Eileen.
And you are a cancer killer.
Yes, I am a cancer killer.
So tell me about your life, because you thought you were healthy, right?
Yes, I thought I was invincible and healthy.
And why? What did your life look like then before you found out that your body was making cancer?
I had 4 kids. I was teaching aerobics. I was eating well. I do all the natural food stuff, and I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was exhausted beyond exhausted.
Okay. And what was making you exhausted? Besides the obvious of 4 children, but one of your children.
Oh, my oldest has epilepsy, and so she was before we did anything with it.
Yeah.
She was unmedicated at that time, and so she was having a lot of seizures, a lot of petit mals, and she was with me all the time. And then if she did anything, I would be with her.
And so as a mom, being on call 24/7 with a daughter and with a family and everything else, that was making you tired.
Yes, but I was tired on the inside.
Okay.
I mean, that's one thing that I was so exhausted on the inside, which is usually you can push through these things, but I was.
So how did that affect your thinking?
I didn't realize that my thinking was bad, but my thinking got out of control to where it was like, this is too much for me. I just want to check out. I just want to, maybe if I was just gone, and little things would trigger that. If I fought with my husband, I'm like, well, I just want to disappear or perish. I just wanted to die at that time. I just wanted to, just be done with it. It was just too much for me to handle. And I didn't realize I was necessarily thinking that way. But when I was diagnosed, with the route that we took, the natural route, and they said, hey, you got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I was like shocked. And then I realized that I was asking myself to die.
Yeah.
So
we talk about maximize living. One of the first essentials is your mind, your max mind.
Yes.
And so thinking, your thoughts.
My thoughts was making it come true.
Yeah. And so why did you choose then the road to get healthy, to build health, and turn your body into a cancer killer versus other options that are available to you?
I just did not want to be plugged into you're a cancer, you're labeled with cancer the rest of my life. I didn't want that at all. I just wanted to do it. I knew my body was able to self-heal, so I wanted to do some self-healing, and then I knew that if I was making myself do that, I can unmake myself do that.
Right.
So I really went, no, why do I want to die? I want to die when it's my time. I don't want to die before my time. Even if this stuff gets a little hairy or I get mad at these, my husband or these kids or whatever, I wanted to feel to go to the very end of when, to do all the things I'm supposed to do in this life. So I didn't want to perish early.
So you changed your diet?
I changed my diet. I exercised to make sure, and I was exercising, but I think I was exercising way too long and way too hard.
Okay.
So I brought my exercise down to where I was getting more oxygen intake instead of always being anaerobic. So I changed my exercise program, and I did do a cleansing.
You detoxed?
I detoxed in many different ways with some juice and with some herbs, and so I did a lot of and I did some colonics. I went and rehashed my body.
Right, the protocols that are in the Cancer Killer book.
Yes.
You started doing.
Yes.
Because
Definitely.
that's how you build health.
Definitely, and I was going to do it to the tens. I was going to do it. I did it meticulously.
Yeah, you have to be serious about this.
Yeah, I was serious. I was like, no, this is not going to get me.
What did you do to heal your thinking?
Some of it was Bible study, some of it was prayer, some of it was just I really told that voice in my head, no, I'm going to go in God's timing, not when the enemy thinks, wants to piggyback on my own bad thoughts. So I had to get rid of those thoughts, and I'm not saying that I don't ever have them again. I do, but then I say no. I tell them to go away, and I say, this is what I want. I want to live a full life till when it's my time, not before my time.
And so you now are aware of the sabotaging voices.
Yep.
And the voices that build health, and you just choose to pay more attention to the truth.
Yes.
And you know the lies now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have, but sometimes you have bad days, and then you just move on from there and say, this day's a good day.
What would you tell someone who's watching this? How would you encourage them, whether they want to turn their body into a cancer killer, or they're a cancer survivor, like it's a label, or they're dealing with it now? What would you encourage them as far as getting the control of their thinking and healing that part?
to get control of it, I think you have to identify it first. I think you have to know what you're up against and what your thoughts kind of go towards, and then I would write them down, and then I would make up something that you're going to say instead.
Okay.
So that you have something that, if this is what I'm thinking, no, I'm going to say this. Even if you just repeat it or read what you wrote down, and that will get you started.
How important is forgiveness and letting go of maybe past hurts and things like that?
It's huge.
Was that part of
huge. You need to seek out forgiveness, even if that person's no longer alive. I think you still need to ask for forgiveness and to just confess things with your mouth, so that you're saying it out loud so your ears can hear you. And sometimes that's bigger, not just thinking it, but you say it out loud so that your ears can hear it and your mind can think it. I think is a good way too.
Good.
But to go through those, yeah,
Amen.
definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, give her a hand. Isn't she beautiful? So, pull out your sheet. Step 1. What time are you waking up tomorrow? Write it down. Write it down. Write down right here what time you're going to wake up. And you tell yourself, what's the first thing I'm going to think? Oh, darn. I gave my daughter a card one time. I said to the girl that when she puts her feet on the ground, the devil says, oh no, she's up. So that's really what I want the attitude I want you to have is, what's the first thing you're going to say? What's the first thing you're going to think? And I encourage you to, let it be a good thing. Write it on the back here. My goal is to be better than yesterday. My goal is that, I don't know what's going to happen today, but I'm going to be a blessing to somebody. You know what? I'm only going to use my words for kindness. But, the first thing is, the first step in the don't get it plan is getting a hold of your thoughts and your thinking. So, and you go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But now I'm going to pin you down. I'm going to say, okay, when you wake up tomorrow morning, what's the first thing you're going to think? And I'm going to encourage you to write something, note to yourself, put it by your bedstand, put something on a sticky note on your mirror, and remind yourself, whether it's something in the Bible or a picture of your child, what's worth living for? Remind yourself every morning. One of the things that I think of every morning it's you guys. It's you guys. How can I be a blessing to you? How can I help you, have fun and have more joy? It's not about me. How can I help you? How can I be a good husband? Be thankful for me. I go through I tell God thank you. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my children. Me personally, I use the word shalom. As I get up in the morning, I put my hand out, I go shalom over my wife, shalom over each child's bedroom door, shalom over myself, shalom over my oldest daughter, and I even pray for her boyfriend. I say shalom over him, because you never know where he's going to end up someday. So I even bless him. But that really gets, instead of saying, oh, I got this to get done and that get done, and worry about this and what about that, because we worry about all these different things we have no control about, or people we have no control about, and by 8 o'clock we're grumpy, we haven't had our coffee. You know what I'm saying? So, what time are you waking up every morning, and what are you going to think, the first thing you're going to think? So, and again, the cause and the cure, right? You get to the cause of the problem, you get to cure the cancer inside of you. And so, oxygen for fuel, again, healthy cells don't need sugar, healthy cells live in an alkaline body, but cancer cells need sugar. Okay, they don't need oxygen. They live in an acidic environment. So now we're going to shift gears and go into the don't get it plan when it comes to food. Right? So far we're talking about thought. Now, what does food look like? Well, the main thing is that we need to increase healthy fats to good fats. We're going to talk about that. Some of you have done Weight Watchers, or you counted calories, and what they tell you that fat is, good or bad? Bad for you, right? Well, I'll tell you what, my diet probably is 50% or more fat. I like fat. You need fat. Fat is good for you. If it's the essential kind of fat, if it's the fat the way that God made fat. Okay, and I'll show you some examples of that. Then you're also going to moderate your intake of protein. You're going to get the good kind of protein, grass-fed beef, like what Corner Post has here today. You're going to eliminate grains and sugars and limit fruit. Okay? And then you're going to get the right nutrients in your body. So again, your cell wall is what it's all about. Everybody say, protect the wall. Protect the wall. And on your wall, you have like these little garage doors, right? All these little cells, they're called receptor sites. And you want the garage doors to go up to allow the good stuff in and allow the bad stuff out, okay? No one here wants a constipated cell, okay? That's why you're sick. All health and healing are based on a cellular level. Say cellular. Good. That's where all health and healing comes from. And so the thing is that we want to make sure that all these cells are healthy, that the garage doors are open so the good stuff can get in, the bad stuff can get out. Well, as you get sick, okay, and I'll show you how you get sick, but as you get sick, these cell walls begin to close down. This cell becomes toxic, constipated, okay? It feeds off of sugar. It likes an acidic environment. It doesn't like oxygen, and it'll do just very fine just like that. So sugar is the first one. Don't let anybody tell you that diet doesn't matter, right? Because it does. Because if you have a PET scan, they put you in this PET scan machine, and they give you something to find out where, here's cancer, 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 where are you? And what do they give you? Sugar, right? Okay, if they give you broccoli, they couldn't find the cancer, right? They give you sugar. And all of a sudden, if there's any cancer there, the cancer goes, and starts eating the sugar, and it lights up. And they go, oh, there's the cancer. So diet does matter. Diet does matter. Okay? And again, our advanced plan that are in our books are all about starving your body, not giving it the sugar, and then moving on from there. Now, not a show of hands here, but some of you may think, well, I don't eat sugar. You know, I'm fine. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat dessert. I don't drink soda pop. I have very little sugar in my diet. Well, let's make sure. Because where does it come from? Well, glucose, yeah, sucrose, fructose, that's fruit, right? And you might get it in maple syrup or sugar cane or cane juice. Okay, you can see that's sugar, right? What about these other things over here? Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, corn oil, cornmeal, cornstarch, dextrose, MSG, xanthan gum, maltodextrin. That is all sugar, and all of these things feed cancer cells. I used to think if I bought my cookies at the health food store, I was fine. Guess what? It's still sugar. Okay? So, pH. So here's the thing. If I have a fish, and I start dumping some Diet Coke in the water, and I put some crackers in the water, and I pour some ice cream in the water, and I put, what else? Some what? Milk in the water. What happens to the fish? It dies, right? Was it the bad genes of the fish? No, that's what fish do when you put that in the water, right? So the same thing is with you. Your environment inside your body is crucial to building not just cancer, but all disease. So in our office, we have these pH test strips. You put them on your tongue. Saliva is a very good tester of health overall. And the thing is that you want your acidity, your pH level, to be somewhere above 7 right here. Okay? You don't want it acidic. You want it alkaline. Alkaline. If you're from Detroit, you say alkaline, right? Okay, that's a bad joke, sorry. So, how do I switch my diet from, if I'm acidic, my environment, into more alkaline? And again, folks, if you're a patient of our office, and, you know, we do shop with the docs. I teach you how to eat. I do workshops on this, right? If you're not a patient of ours yet, and you're a guest here, we're going to give you an opportunity to become a patient. Don't worry about that, okay? And I'm going to show you the nutrients and stuff you need to take and all that stuff to get all that confusion. But really, it's not rocket science. You look at the foods and the beverages that are alkaline and make sure that in your nutrition plan, you're eating more of that than the ones that are acidic. So, therefore, this week, let's have you add spinach, broccoli, olive oil, green tea, lettuce, celery, apples, almonds, carrots, tomatoes, and cabbage to your diet. Okay? Is that different? Maybe. Is it hard? Not necessarily. Okay? Did you get that one? And let's start cutting out, okay, grains. Let's cut out fish that's warm, caught water. Because I'm not telling you to get rid of all this stuff, because I eat eggs. But again, when it looks at the beer and the sugar and the coffee, the white bread, the shellfish, the pastries, the pasta, the cheese, the soda, okay? You start cutting that out, start eating more of the other stuff, you're going to start seeing changes. You start seeing oil lights go off in your life. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, essential fatty acids. Everybody say, I need some fat. You do need fat. You need fat for your brain. Your brain needs fat. It's essential. Okay? So where are you going to find some really good fats? Because some of you still, well, I can't eat fat. I'll get fat, right? I promise you, eat the right essential fats you're not going to get fat. You're actually going to burn fat and build muscle. Fat, you need fat to build energy and to think and to be strong in school. So you find it in olive oil. You find it in fish oils, right? That's where I get most of my essential fatty acids from, is from my maximizing omegas that I take, because again, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, which is very important. You need that. Not all nutrition is the same. Not all vitamins are the same, okay? But again, flaxseed oil, avocados, love them. Nuts, seeds, coconuts, real butter, raw's the best. Grass-fed meats and eggs and whole milks, fatty fish, you know, caught up north, all kinds of good stuff like that, okay? So that's where it comes from. And again, this is where we have it today. All products are 15% off. So today, and we really have more people here than we thought, so we have a limited supply. But get some fish oil today for yourself. It's really easy, right? It's really easy. Take some, put some in, you'll be all set to go. Now, one thing, say one thing. One thing that you can't get from food is vitamin D. But where can you get it from? The sun, right? Now we live in Denver, so we should have, all of us should have very high vitamin D levels, right? The sad thing is we don't. My patients, the average person comes in, and they've been taking a other vitamin D product, or they've taken vitamin D or D2 they got from another source, and their average level is like around 20. 20. Now, thank God you're not going to get rickets, okay? But this is a cancer talk, right? And so here's the thing. I want your levels of vitamin D3, okay, I do, and all leading doctors that I know that study this want it at least 70 or higher. Vitamin D3 has a garage door attached to your immune system, right? Remember the receptor sites? Has a garage door. And without vitamin D3 at its good levels, your immune system can't go to work and destroy cancer cells, viruses, things like that. So vitamin D3 is actually not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And your hormones are very important. And so when your hormone, vitamin D3 levels are 70 or above, then your body keeps your cells together. It keeps the oilite from going off. Does that make sense? So if you really are concerned about never getting breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, okay, type 1 diabetes, be prone to falls and fractures, multiple sclerosis, kidney cancers, endometrial cancers, it's real simple. Get your vitamin D levels above 70. 80 is not going to be bad, and if it's 100, don't freak out. You're not going to hurt yourself. And again, don't take my word for it. Listen for a minute what Dr. Oz has to say about vitamin D3.
This is from Sherry. She says, I have breast cancer, and I've read literature suggesting I should take vitamin D. Is this correct?
Sherry, without any question, if you have cancer or if you want to avoid cancer, I would take vitamin D. Probably the single most important thing that I would do to reduce the infections you get all year long is also to take vitamin D. Why? Because vitamin D is a hormone, and it is a hormone, will stimulate your immune system. And your immune system will therefore be more able to pick up early cancer cells. Remember, everyone watching me right now has cancer. We both have cancer cells. But they're just individual cells that hopefully our immune system recognizes and can take out. So you want to get vitamin D in there to stimulate the immune system to work normally. Vitamin D deficiency doesn't just cause problems with the bone. It causes not only autoimmune issues, because your immune system is not functioning normally, but it makes you more prone to infections, and it weakens your body's ability to cope with cancer. Those are some of the many reasons that vitamin D is critical to you.
What do you recommend? How much? I'm taking 2,000 a day.
Most people benefit from either 1,000 or 2,000 a day. And listen, I will tell everybody right now, especially if you're darker skinned, that you probably need to be on a supplement, especially if you live in the northern climates of America. And by north, I mean north of Atlanta. Because in the winter months, you don't get enough sun. Now, in the summertime, you do have the ability to get sun, so go out and get it. But in the meantime, if you're not getting sun exposure, and there are plenty of people in Florida, Texas, and Southern California who are not, then I want you to go out and get you at least 1,000 units a day. But you got to check your levels. If your levels are low, you have to bump it up to 2,000 more. There are some people who need 5,000 units of vitamin D every day in order to get adequate levels in their blood.
And now, can you take too much?
It is very difficult to take too much vitamin D. Probably 10,000 a day chronically might put you over the edge.
Right.
But you know what?
2 or 3,000?
Not close. It's not even a problem. You know, if you go onto the sun for 10, 15 minutes, you'll get 10,000 units.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you get a lot from the sun. You get a lot more than just vitamin D from the sun, which is why I recommend that as your primary course. But 1,000 or 2,000 is a very safe dose.
That's great.
All right. See, you know, Dr. Oz said it, right? Now, obviously, he's been listening to me because I've been saying this for a long time. Okay? But again, we've seen the testing, and again, I take 5,000 IUs every day, right? This week, because I knew my stress level would be a little high and get a lot of stuff done, I took 10,000 this week, okay? Why? I needed it. You can take up to 50,000, okay? It's fine. You're not going to hurt yourself. But one thing you can't do is have low vitamin D levels. And so that's why, you know, we have this package here. You get 15% off your product. We have a little package here for you. You get your omegas, your essential fats, and your vitamin D. And also this has probiotics in it. It has fruits and vegetables in it. And again, you want the product that works. My friend Dr. BJ does a lot of teaching on this. They're from Canada, eh? You know, and him and his mom had levels of 30. And so he stayed in Canada and worked and took 5,000 IUs a day of our vitamin D3. His mom went to Florida and suntanned 15 minutes each side every day. When she came back, after 6 months, they came back, she tested hers, and she went from 30 to 35. Dr. BJ went from 30 to 75. So, again, you want the product that works. You know, it is confusing when you go to health food stores. That's why I have it here for you. It works. It does the job. Okay? So, again, all right, Dr. Joe, what can I eat then? Right? So as you look at your Don't Get It plan, you're going to see the time, right, that you're going to take your greens and all your other stuff, things like that. But what can you have? Right? Well, for breakfast, have some eggs. It's not going to mess up your cholesterol. Right? And if you're not battling cancer, and if you're not on the advanced plan, and you're just trying to be healthy, then do the raw oats and mix in some almonds and pecans and a little blob of maple syrup. We love it. Okay, we call it the Zimbabwe breakfast after we went to Zimbabwe. Okay, if you're used to doing white bread or kinds of bread, switch to what's called Ezekiel bread. You'll find it in the freezer section of your store. It's a protein sprouted bread. It's better for you than just the regular grain bread, although it's still a grain. So if you're on a cancer killing plan, on the advanced plan, we don't do the bread. We don't do the Ezekiel bread, right?
The raw oats, are they the same as?
Raw oats.
They're like, they're not the minute oats.
Raw oats. They're just raw oats. Yep. You don't cook them. You just eat them raw. Okay? And then coconut oil is your friend. Now, what can you eat for snacks? Either in the morning or afternoon. You got almonds, you got celery, almond butter, cashews, coconuts, avocado slices, pecans, right? You got raw veggies. And before noon, have some fruit. Apples, strawberry, blueberries. Why? What is fruit? It's sugar, right? You don't need the bananas or the fruit at night. Not your friend. But have it in the morning. Have it easy so you can burn it off. Okay? Now, lunchtime. Meat roll-ups. You don't need to have bread on your sandwiches. You won't die, I promise you. Okay? That's my kids. Salads, hummus, raw veggies, almond butter with celery, avocado slices. Okay, so my friend's taking me to Good Times. I don't want to be a weirdo. What do? You order a hamburger. Okay, Spurs, have a cheeseburger with tomatoes, lettuce, and pickles. No bun, right? Or take top bun off, only eat half the bun. Isn't that at least a step in the right direction? Don't get the ketchup on it. Why? Because there's sugar in there, right? You know, there's different ways to pull this off. And again, we could be here forever. This is what I do with you as a patient. I help you walk you through whether it's Chipotle, whether it's Qdoba's, whether it's Good Times, whether it's Sinzetti's. How do you stay a cancer killer and even go out and have fun? Just because you're a cancer killer doesn't mean you have to stop having fun. Okay, Jim? You don't have to give up fun, right? You have to have fun and get healthy, right? That's important. Okay, John? And some healthy soups. And then for dinner, grass-fed beef, fish. Again, that's why we have a corner post here. Go out and, if you want to, shoot you an animal out there. Not like dogs or cats, but something else, you know. Veggies, broccoli, green beans, spinach, and sweet potatoes. Boy, do I love my sweet potatoes. I'll tell you what, I love my sweet potatoes. Now, no brown sugar, no marshmallows stirred in, okay? You cut them up. Pour some olive oil on them, salt and pepper, maybe some Cholula. I love my Cholula. And you bake it, right? And then mix it with whatever you're eating. But I tell you, it's what fills me up and makes me happy. Okay? And there's tons of ideas in our ML books, Maximizing books. Now, what about sugar cravings? Right? Am I the only one that has that demon of Ben & Jerry's come out at me between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night? Well, guess what? You skipped breakfast, didn't you? Or you had orange juice and a bagel for breakfast. Or you had a pastry. I guarantee you didn't have eggs. I guarantee you didn't have a protein smoothie full of protein. You had something, either grains or sugar or no breakfast. So 12 hours later, your body's saying, hey, I want some protein. But you swear it's saying, I want some chips. I want some ice cream. I want some cookies. I want some hot chocolate. I want a bowl of cereal. I want a bowl of ice cream. You swear that's what you really are deficient in right now. You would just promise, oh no, if I just had some ice cream, I'd be happy, right? So after the third bowl, are you happy? No. About that time, the fight breaks out because someone in your family says, that's your third bowl? Don't judge me, right? Here's Dr. Joe's plan. Grab some healthy peanut butter, okay? Skippy and Jif and Peter Pan, not healthy, okay? If it says hydrogenated oils on the label, not healthy. Healthy, you gotta stir it up, okay? And grab a big old spoonful and put it in your mouth. Wait 20 minutes. Your body says, I got some protein, I got some fats, now I can go to bed. And the sugar craving will go away. Now, if after 20 minutes you're still craving it, go ahead and have the snack, start again the next day. But most times, 9 out of 10 times, that sugar craving will go away because now you're balancing out your good fats and your good proteins, okay? All right. Now, real quick, you're lacking protein, not sugar. Dr. Joe's ice cream, we call it, right? Almond butter, coconut oil mixed in a little jar with some cocoa nibs. It's 100% cocoa, okay? That's Dr. Joe's ice cream, right? Again, 1 teaspoon of almond butter or peanut butter, healthy kind. 1 or 2 teaspoons of almond oil, okay? On the coconut oil, right? And then some cocoa nibs. It's a little bit. You don't want more than too much. You'd be like, it's too fatty. It's too rich, I guess is the word, right? But you're satisfied. It eases your cravings, and you go to bed. You're just fine. Okay? All right. So now look at your don't get it plan, right? What time are you waking up and thinking about one good thing? Okay? Then the next thing you're going to do, we'll talk about towards the end, is you're going to help your body detox. So you're going to take a product called Cell Detox. Drink some water in your body. Don't let it be the first thing you put in your body in the morning be Mountain Dew, or Coca-Cola, or Diet Coke, or Frappuccino, or what do we call it? Crappuccino. Okay? Let be the first thing you put in your body that morning. At least be water. Okay? At least be water. And then you're going to wake up. I'll show you how in a minute. We'll talk about how to do the Max T3 or Surge workout. Get some greens and breakfast, okay? But again, I love the Max Greens and the protein in a smoothie for breakfast because I'm actually feeding myself some food, and I'm not going to get that crash at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to have to get something sweet in me before noon or before I bite somebody's head off. Does that make sense? Okay? And again, I'm a coffee guy. I like coffee. I drink coffee. I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking coffee, right? But I'm going to tell you to put heavy whipping cream in it. And if you can get unpasteurized or raw heavy whipping cream, that's even better. Now, I'll get fat. My waist keeps shrinking, okay? And you won't get fat either. You'll get the fat, which will feed your brain. You'll be happy. You'll be satisfied. And you're not going to be grumpy. And you're going to not get those cravings like you usually get, okay? Just being honest with you. So, here's a breakfast I love, right? Max Greens, perfect protein. Man, that fills you up. If you're into doing shakes for a weight loss plan, but you want the nutrients, right here you go. Mix that in. Right, that's chocolate flavor. You get that in chocolate and vanilla. Got some out there. I get my vitamin D in me, so I'm kicking cancer's butt. Got my good fats in me. I'm a happy camper, so I'm good to go. So, how are we doing so far? If I show of hands, have I thoroughly disgusted anyone yet? I hope not. I hope you feel love. Okay? Yes? Can I explain the Max Greens? Not right now, but I will in a minute. Okay? Max Greens is good for you. Take some every day. There you go. Can you explain spinach? No, just eat it. Can you explain broccoli? No, it's good for you, right? So, real quick, Max Greens. How are your kids doing at eating fruits and vegetables like they're supposed to? How are you doing at eating fruits and vegetables like you're supposed to? I'm not real good at it. I love my sweet potatoes, though. So the Max Greens are making sure that I get my greens in me because greens are very vital at shrinking inflammation. I'm glad you brought it up. So all disease has inflammation. Heart disease, cancer has inflammation. So when you put greens in your body, your joints feel better. It begins to shrink inflammation, which now allows the healing process to happen inside your body at a greater rate. You can eat 4 stalks of broccoli every day, or spinach, and try to eat big bowls of salad, but to make sure, see, my nutrients, again, you try to get most of your nutrients from your food, But if I know I get the perfect protein in me, and the max greens in me, and my vitamin D, and my fish oils, I know that if my diet isn't so good that day, but I know I'm still getting what I need to be a cancer killer. My olighte's not going to come out. Does that make sense? So it helps me make sure I get all the fruits and vegetables that I need in a way that tastes like chocolate, so it's really good, and I like it. Does that make sense? And so while you brought it up, okay, here's what I do, all right? Glad you brought this up. This is perfect, okay? Perfect timing, all right? Oh, first of all, what's this? It's a baggie. It's my vitamins, right? Before I leave the house, I put my vitamins in my baggie. I put my baggie in my shaky cup, right? And now I'm going to not starve today, all right? I'll be okay. So what I do is I pull up my shaky cup, and I take a scoop of the protein powder and a scoop of my max greens, and I put it in this shaky cup. I get cold water, I fill it up, and then what do? I shake it, all right? And then I drink it. Now, could I do coconut milk? Sure, if you wanted to. I don't need it. Can you do almond milk? Sure, if you want to. Okay? Just make sure it's unsweetened. The least amount of sugar, the best. So you want 0 sugar, right? You shake it up and you drink it. This can be your breakfast. This can be your after-workout shake. This can be your mid-morning shake. It can be your afternoon snack. It can be your late-night snack. Okay? But you're putting food inside your body. You're killing cancer and you're building health. You're burning fat and you're building muscle. Is that good news? All right, give yourself a hand for the shaky cup, right? And then my vitamins. Now, in an ideal world, but I'm not an ideal guy, you could take, if it says 3 fish oil a day, you take 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner. But how many of you put your fish oils in your pocket, and you take the first 1 at breakfast, but then you forget until 10 o'clock at night, or when your wife washes your pants, to take the other 2, right? Can I get an amen? Yes. So I don't trust myself, and I take the whole day's worth at one time. That way I know at least it's getting in me, okay? And I have some, I take it after lunch usually, because I have a shake in the morning. I'm pretty good to go. But that's how I take my vitamins, okay? So, have you ever had anybody, everybody's been touched by cancer, correct? Do you ever have anybody who got cancer and didn't deserve it? Maybe they ate better than you did, and yet they're the ones that got cancer. And you feel guilty because I go have pizza at McDonald's and they got the cancer, and see, I told you, you can eat whatever you want, right? You ever had anybody who exercised more than you, or went to church more than you, was positive, and they got cancer, and maybe they're not even here anymore because they died of the cancer. It doesn't make any sense. And on the other hand, you have somebody who never goes to church, kicks their dog, eats McDonald's, drinks too much, and smokes, and they're 95 years old. You know what I'm saying? Is that fair? Well, this essential number 2 I'm going to tell you about in a minute is the secret to being a cancer killer. It's in your nerve system. You have got to have maximized nerve supply. Diet, exercise, detoxing, the right vitamins, you can have everything perfect. But if you don't have the right nerve supply, then you're not going to get the same results. You're not going to be functioning the way you're supposed to be. All right? And that's key, because what we look at is this. What we look at is that the nerve system is the master system that controls everything in your body. And so as the hierarchy of everything here, you can go how long without food? A month. Now my kids can't, but it's supposedly you can go 1 month. You can go how many without water? Days, right? You go a few minutes without air, but you can't go 1 second without nerve supply. And so if you look at this poster right here, okay, this is it right here. This is the meaning of health and life. Because if you want to know what health is, here's the key. If you're healthy, you don't get cancer. Well, John's got cancer, but he looks so healthy. You cannot be healthy and have cancer. You understand that? You cannot be healthy and have heart disease or a heart attack. He had a heart attack. He was so healthy. He had cancer. He was so healthy. No, he's not. Or she's not. So if you want to be healthy so that you don't have to get cancer, that would be pretty cool to find out what health is, right? So what is health? It's not what you eat. It's not how you feel. It's how your body's working. It's how your body's functioning. Well, what controls all function and all healing inside your body? What made everything in your mama's tummy? And that's your nerve system. Your brain controls everything. Your brain sends messages down your spinal cord, and those messages then travel over the nerves, and that's what tells your heart to beat. That's what tells your lungs to breathe. That's what tells every organ in your body how to work. And so if you want to be healthy, you have to make sure that your brain has 100% communication, just like it did in the womb, to make you. Then when you get out of the womb, so they can heal you and keep you strong and healthy. Okay? Because think about it this way. If I cut the nerve that goes to your stomach, if I cut the nerve that goes to your digestion, what will it do? Anybody know? Huh? It stops. If your brain can't talk to an organ, it stops. It dies. So I'm not going to cut the nerves to your digestive system because that would be really messy. But if I was to take one of these vertebrae and spin them out of alignment, and now we're pinching on that nerve, what's happening now to the brain's messages going to that stomach or that organ? Being blocked, right? So let me say it a different way. If I step on a hose that goes to your garden or your green grass, what's going to happen to your grass? It's going to die. Is it going to die overnight, though? No. But when's your grass in trouble? When it starts to look bad, or the moment I stepped on the hose? When I stepped on the hose. So for some of you, when was the first time you ever had your spine or vertebrae out of alignment? Who said when you were born? Can't see. Who said that? All right. So we have a t-shirt over here. There you go. And we have a t-shirt over here for Donna. Oh, catch it for Donna. Okay, good. So think about it. In America, we want to pull on this, right? And this gets twisted. We see the forceps vacuum extraction, cesarean section. The problem is not the way the baby was born. The problem is what happened to the spine during that process. So for some of you, the reason why you're having cancer or growing sickness and disease is because the day you were born, something got twisted and it's never been put back. And so the thing is that it is impossible to have health and have a vertebrae out of alignment in your spine. It's impossible. You may feel okay, but your body is building disease. That's what I want you to understand as far as the nerve system. Every one of these nerves go to a certain part of your body, and as these hoses get pinched, if they don't get unpinched, then you start getting these different diseases of the body. And so this x-ray on this CAT scan on the left is normal. This one's on the right, is in trouble. It's straight, right? It's straight. It should be nice and loose like this. So we want to take this spine and we want to get it going to look like this one, right? Because your spine, if the brain and spinal cord is the most important healing thing you have, then you might want to know what your spine should look like so that you can have that kind of health. Does that make sense? So your spine has to be straight from the front. I'm not a chiropractor because I like popping bones. I'm a chiropractor, a maximized living doctor, because I know the only way I can promise you to be cancer-proof and to be a cancer killer is making sure your spine is corrected. Does that make sense? Then your nutrition, then your max mindset, then detoxing, then exercise. But if we don't get this ring right, there's lots of people who do those other four essentials really well, and they still get sick. But here's the thing. It has to be straight from the front. And it has to have 3 good curves from the side. It doesn't happen any other way. This is what it has to have. And so if it looks like this from the side and it looks like this from the front, then your brain has complete control over your nerve system. But if I take an x-ray of you or I check your spine and I found out you have forward head posture like this, is that okay? But it doesn't hurt. Are you still in trouble? Yes. Is your body building health or building disease? Disease. What do we need to do to get your body building health again? Get your spine going back this way, right? Okay? Yes, we have to adjust it. But if you just go to a doctor and get a crack, he says, okay, come back when it hurts again. That's not corrective care. That's not what we do. Our job is to get your spine going back this way so it looks its very best so that you can have the health and the healing that you are promised. Does that make sense? So, with the x-ray on the right, how much broccoli should you eat to make your spine bend back the right way? It doesn't adjust. Nutrition's important, but it doesn't override your neurology. How many vitamins should you take? Doesn't matter. How many push-ups should you do? How many miles should you run? It's not going to touch it. How many positive affirmations can you say? It will not take the pressure off the nerve system. Only getting it corrected. And again, reforming or deforming. When your nerves are being pinched, it's sending deforming messages to your cells, and this research says, therefore, the nervous system plays an important role in cancer metastasis. Denervation, which means bad nerves of the tumor, have been reported to enhance cancer metastasis. So again, I've been in practice over 21 years. I count on my left hand how many patients have actually found out they had cancer while under my care and died of cancer. One of the reasons why is because they're getting adjusted. The body's not making cancer if it's getting adjusted on a regular basis. The next thing is that if you're a patient in here, okay, high five your neighbor. Give me a high five. High five, right? Because you're getting a $10,000 adjustment, okay? Let me prove it to you. When you get adjusted, it's releasing a hormone called interleukin-2. Interleukin-2 is a cancer-killing agent. In some cancer offices, they'll give you a shot of interleukin-2, right? And it's up to $10,000 a shot. When I adjust your spine, we are releasing that the way God put it in your body to go off and boost your immune system, which kills the cancer cells, so that every adjustment you get, whether you have back pain or not. So now, if you're a newborn baby, and I check your nerve system, and I find pressure on your top little bone because the doctor pulled too hard, and I reset that nerve system, right then we turn your body into a cancer killer. Sorry, I get a little excited. Right then we turn the power on. Is that good news? Is that what? That's good news. So is there a reason why nobody, let me say this right in the right English. If you have a spine, doesn't it deserve to be kept healthy? If you don't keep your spine healthy, then what should you expect? Sickness, disease, and early death. You will not be able to live at your full potential if you're not taking care of your nerve system. Now the thing is that that's what it talked about. Chiropractic adjustments boosted your interleukin-2 levels. Dr. Majors, though, wasn't getting corrective care. We kind of had to invent our own corrective care 15 years ago because people were getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Dr. Majors was getting adjusted. My wife was getting adjusted, but not nearly the kind of care, quality care you're getting right now. We didn't know any better. We had to figure out how to really correct the spine. Some would, some wouldn't. We really didn't know how to predict it. Now we do. And Dr. Majors wasn't getting the corrective kind, and it made all the kind of difference. So this is his x-ray on the left. This is a new one on the right. His body's growing cancer still, because why? Still got pressure on the hose, still building disease up in here. Pressure's off the hose. Now his power's turned on, and now his body's making health, not cancer. And so again, what are the warning signs? What are the warning signs? Right now, we don't, in Dr. Majors, his headaches was a warning sign of the stage 4 cancer growing in his body. Okay? If you have headaches, mental problems, fatigue, sleep problems, neck pain, frequent colds, depression, low back pain, ear infections, high blood pressure, focus problems, allergy problems, or asthma, those aren't normal. They're not supposed to be there. God doesn't make junk, and He didn't make you to have those things. Something is going wrong, and those are oil lights warning you have to do something. Okay? It's not, your headaches aren't telling you you're low on Tylenol. But in America, if you have a headache, what are we told to do? Take Tylenol. Does that kill the oil light? Does that put oil in the engine? No. So eventually as that nerve keeps getting pinched, okay, then it's never going to get free. And so what the first step is going to be in a minute is that if you're a guest here, is give you an opportunity to get your nerve system checked. Because again, in a society, in a game where you're not getting your nerve system checked and you're not getting adjusted on a regular basis, then you're just losing the game. And let me show you what it's like in our office. I'm going to show you a quick clip of what it's like in our office every day when people who are struggling get help and we win the game in our society. Watch this for a minute.
And I know you guys get tired of me. It's little things.
Coach Peter Morales of the Coronado High School Thunderbirds in El Paso, Texas, makes no qualms about it. He has a favorite on this team.
Mitchell, I need you to help me out with my coaching tips, Mitchell.
Team manager Mitchell Marcus has a developmental disability.
1, 2, 3,
and he far surpasses everyone here when it comes to love of the game.
He's just an amazing person that our basketball team loves being around. Yay!
Mitchell's mom, Amy, says he's always been that way.
Mitchell always had a basketball. That was always what he wanted for his birthday.
And because basketball is that important to him, On the last game of the regular season, the coach told Mitchell to suit up.
What was it like to put on the uniform?
I was very happy.
I imagine you were.
Just wearing a jersey was enough for Mitchell. But what he didn't know, what no one knew at the time, was that the coach planned to play him at the end, no matter what the score.
You were prepared to lose that game.
For his moment, yes. For his moment in time, yes.
And so, with a minute and a half left, Coronado leading, but only by 10, Coach Morales put in his manager.
And just started hearing Mitchell.
But here's where the fairy tale fell apart. Although his teammates did everything they could to get Mitchell a basket, each time they passed him the ball, he either missed the shot or, like on their last possession, booted it out of bounds, turning the ball over to the other team with just seconds left.
He wasn't going to be able to score, but I was hoping that he was happy that he was just put in the game.
Could you have ever imagined what happened next?
No, I didn't. I could not. Not at all.
What happened next happened on the inbound. The guy with the ball there is a senior at Franklin High School, number 22, Jonathan Montañez.
I was raised to treat others how you want to be treated. Just thought Mitchell deserved his chance, deserves his opportunity.
I think I'll cry about it for the rest of my life.
What Jonathan did was yell out Mitchell's name, then threw the ball right to him, right there. One of the most memorable turnovers of all time. It wasn't the game-winning shot. When the buzzer sounded, Coronado had 15 more points than Franklin. But Jonathan's assist and Mitchell's basket did change the outcome decidedly. Play any game with this much sportsmanship, both teams win. Steve Hartman on the road in El Paso, Texas.
So, I want to give everybody a fair chance in this game called life. In life, you just don't know. You want help, you just don't know. So, if you're a patient and you brought a friend or a guest for a reason, that's what that guy did. Say, hey, Mitchell, here. Hey, come to this makeover. Hey, come check out. Oh, I know, But the reality is that, the person that brought you today wanted you to get an opportunity to win. And so the thing is that you could spend millions of dollars on medical tests and they all come back just fine, right? But then once you flunk the medical test, guess what? You already have it. It's too late. And yet I could bring you into my office and I could check your nerve system. And if I find the nerve supply going to your heart, if I find that nerve being pinched or blocked, is your body building health or building disease? And when would you want to know that? Right now. So pull out your half sheet of paper right now if you're a guest. Okay, pull it out. This is the time for your guest. This time we're going to save your life. And if I have to be here till 10 o'clock tonight, I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to get their life saved. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill out your name and your number and the best time to call. And again, before you worry about this, if you're willing to take time today, out of your schedule to come here, then that's your ticket into the office. This is my way of giving back to the community. So there is no charge for this first visit. I've covered the cost for you. I've covered the cost for you. And so if you're a guest here, put your name down here. On the right, circle the time this Monday, Tuesday. Now, we're a very busy office, right? We have only a certain number of spaces available. So I've opened up this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you're really serious about wanting to get your nerve system checked, then great, let's do it. I'll cover the cost of that first visit. We'll do an exam, we'll do an x-ray, and we'll see if any of these nerves are being blocked to see if your body is building disease or it's making disease. Because I don't care what a medical doctor says, I don't care what your PT says, I don't care what your massage therapist says, I don't care what your nurse friend says. If you have a nerve being blocked on your spine, I don't care what your smart sister who read a medical book once says, okay? We all have those. If you have a nerve being blocked somewhere, is your body working at 100%? It's not. And does that mean there's pinching on the hose? So then what is happening to your garden? He's dying. So, and it's not just you, but what about your children? What about your best friend? Put their name down here too. Okay? Take a minute, fill this out, and then I'm going to have you push, I'm going to have you, if I get some team helpers, I'm going to have you send them all to the left here. And we're going to collect them. And then we'll email you paperwork, we'll get you all set up, okay? I'm not done yet. And again, you have nothing to lose here. Does it mean you got to sign and get something fixed? No, this is just to check and see if you have any nerves being blocked, to see if your body's making disease or not. If once we find it, I'll let you know. Then we'll figure out what to do to fix it if that's something you want to do. But not knowing is not okay. Part of the don't get it plan is having a strong nerve system. I can't deliver the promise of making your life cancer-proof if we don't get your nerve system checked. Okay? So keep writing that, and I got a couple more things, and then I got some fun stuff for you. Again, page 98 Living. Check out your page, okay? Again, spinegeek.com. That's the website. Keep filling stuff out. Don't worry about it. Okay? Spinegeek.com. And again, if you haven't done this yet, I'll leave this up at break. But you can enter to win $1,000. Wouldn't that be nice, right? Well, you're like, oh, not me. I would never win, right? And who won the last one? Who won the last one we did when they did this?
Well, I won something.
You won it, didn't you? Yeah, okay. So last time we did, this is nationwide. Right now there's 400 maximum living offices all around the country doing this today. I didn't say that. I'm not very good at details. I tried. Last time we did this, you had to text a number in, your name and number, into a national database, right? Oh, no, now she says, yeah.
Well, I wasn't thinking of that.
Right.
1 year supply of the really good stuff.
So she wanted a year's supply of maximizing nutrients, right? So don't sit here and think, well, I'm not going to win. I'm telling you, enter in there and win, okay? And again, thank you to my team. Arvay, give yourself a hand, please. Give them a hand. Our family has probably the last 8 weeks putting this together. They've done most of the work. Ambassadors in the great t-shirts, give them a hand, please. Our partners, okay? Now, if I want to make sure, if I forget you, I'm sorry. But we have Aflac here, Sapisa, so go check her out. We have Sam's Club here. We're going to be giving away at the end a year's membership. We have Kathy here. She's going to protect you from the electromagnetic frequencies, from ruining your brain, causing cancer in your home, your cell phone, your body. We have Hank here in a raffle to help raise money, to help, it's called a Care Share. So these people, and finds them jobs and teaches them how to get jobs. We have some handouts here for thermal saunas. We have Corner Post here with the grass-fed and organic beef. Grass-fed? Yep. Organic? Grass-fed is enough. Beef, chicken, lamb, and pork. So I know you're not going to give up your bacon, but eat a better version of it. And then we have Carrie here selling gift certificates to help fund her judo club. We are a very culturally community-minded environment, so go and see her at the tables. And the last thing is, get some products. You need them, okay? Okay, we're going to take a break. See you back here in 15 minutes. We start at 4:05. Yeah. Fill out your evaluations, okay? You got what you need. Fill it out now. Hand it in. If there's somebody you know that isn't here, then fill it out for them. Hand it in. All right. We'll see you back at 4:05. We're going to start. 4:05.